the residence of Rujira Narula Banerjee. We're trying to just get a confirmation on that. But there is a vehicle which seems to be coming in, which has got police written at the back of it. It is not a Kolkata police vehicle, and it's the team. It's the team. We believe the team has arrived, Jati. The CBI team is entering a short. You can see those visuals right now. They're going in right now through that gate. They're being escorted in by officials of the Kolkata police who have been present over here. There are at least more than a few people who are entering, 5 to 6 people who are entering right now. That residence on our screen, so you can see those visuals. The CBI team has in fact arrived just a short while after the Chief Minister of West Bengal was here at this residence. Not everyone, Chati, has been allowed to enter. You can see there are at least 2 or 3 gentlemen who are still standing outside. The gate has been closed. 3 or 4 of them have been allowed to go inside at the moment, but there are some who are standing by outside, possibly for permission, possibly COVID protocols have come into play as well. We will have to wait to find out. But the CBI team now at
yes, and that's the big breaking story Paulami is getting for us. CBI officials reaching Rujira's house, Abhishek and Rujira's house right there. Rujira is going to be questioning, begin her questioning just about a while from now with the CBI. And a short while ago, Paulami got us those first up visuals of Mamata Banerjee arriving at Rujira's house and walking away with a child. We still have to know whether the child is Abhishek and Rujira's, but at the moment, soon after that took place, the CBI officials reach Rujira and Abhishek's house. Rujira is going to be questioned by the CBI in the coal smuggling case. Paulami, we got our viewers the visuals of Mamata Banerjee coming and taking her grandchild from that house, perhaps the grandchild. We can't confirm that whose child that is at the moment. And now the CBI is at the moment at Rujira and Abhishek Banerjee's home. Rujira is going to be questioned, Paulami, by the CBI. What are we picking up in terms of the line of questioning in the coal smuggling case? And if you could encapsulate the case for our viewers as well.
Well, this is a case which has been under the scanner for a while. The alleged coal smuggling case about alleged illegal mining and transportation of coal from these mines which are bordering the border districts, which are in fact lined up across the border districts of West Bengal, along the western border of West Bengal. We're talking about districts like Purulia, Bankura, West Bardhaman. These are some of the districts where the coal mining industry was thriving at some point of time. Then most of these mines shut down, but then illegal mining continued allegedly under the watch of government officials and politicians. Under the scanner was a company called Eastern Coalfields Limited, a state-owned company which was shut down. But the case is against this company and those associated with this company as well, who have been named as accused as far as this case is concerned. Some of the key players who have come to the fore are those like Anup Majhi alias Lala, who's said to be the kingpin of this smuggling racket. There is another TMC leader who is in fact absconding, and the CBI wants to question him. He is TMC youth leader Vinay Mishra. Vinay Mishra is said to be very close to Abhishek Banerjee, and it is alleged by the BJP that Vinay Mishra and Abhishek Banerjee, because of the links that they shared, were involved in illegal mining of coal, and then of course making much of the proceeds that came out of it because of the sanctions for this illegal mining to continue were being given from the government side and from the political side by the ruling Trinamool government. Now, nobody from the party has so far been named as an accused, other than the fact that Vinay Mishra is someone who's under the CBI scanner, and he is being, sought after by the CBI. There's a lookout notice. But as far as the CBI is concerned, he's wanted as far as this investigation goes. Rujira Banerjee, though, She is being treated as someone who's familiar with the circumstances and the facts of this case. The CBI has served her a notice under Section 160 of the CRPC in order to question her to know more about the case, because CBI sources contend that her name cropped up a few times during their questioning of other individuals associated with this racket and those who have been investigated in the past by the CBI. Rujira Narula Banerjee's name would prop up as someone who was receiving quote-unquote protection money. For the smuggling to continue, she was one of those who was receiving protection money. Shubhendu Adhikari, it's not the first time when you heard him recently 2 days ago after the CBI notice was served to Rujira, speaking of Narula Madam. He has in fact spoken in the past at rallies saying Narula Madam was receiving protection money. And that is the allegation against her. Nothing has been substantiated, nothing has been proved. She is not an accused. The CBI is only going to question her today as to what association, if at all, she has with this business, and if she is
and Pauline, you very rightly mentioned that the questioning is going on. There are allegations. None of these allegations have been proved by now, but there is a questioning going on. Staying away from the entire questioning and just taking a step back and looking at all these optics that are playing out right ahead of the assembly elections. How do the optics really work out for the TMC in terms of the voter sentiment? Would you say this is coming as a bit of a setback despite the allegations not being proven as yet?
Well, as far as this investigation is concerned, we'll have to see how the TMC turns this around, Chetty. You know, it is definitely something which is extremely sensitive as far as the TMC is concerned, because you're literally talking about the first family of West Bengal. No investigation, nothing has ever, no agency has ever reached the doorstep of the first family of West Bengal. But the fact is that today there is a CBI team which is inside this residence, which is indeed questioning Mrs. Rujira Narula Banerjee in an alleged coal smuggling case. And that is extremely significant, a development that has happened in West Bengal politics. So that is extremely interesting development which is happening right now. So clearly they are, watching the developments as it happens. Mamata Banerjee stepping down on her way to the state secretariat, possibly to pay the Banerjee family, the Abhishek Banerjee family, a visit, coming out with her granddaughter for a short while. Clearly, optics. She sends out a message. She says, all's well, we're fine, we're not rattled. She came out with a sense of body language which exuded a sense of calm, composure, that we do not feel threatened. These are intimidatory tactics. You can try them. It's all associated with the elections that are at hand, but we are not going to cow down, which is what Abhishek Banerjee said when he tweeted the one time that he did after the CBI notice was served to his wife. Whether the TMC plays on this going forward into the elections, whether it seeks the sympathy of the voter going forward into the elections on this about being targeted by agencies because the TMC is putting forth a pitched battle against the BJP in these upcoming West Bengal elections, that remains to be seen. But there was definitely significance associated with Mamata Banerjee's stopover today at Abhishek Banerjee's residence. This is the route she takes every day. She took it yesterday. We were here. We watched her convoy pass by. Today, she stopped, went in for 10-15 minutes, came out with her granddaughter, and that sends out a message, Chetty.
Absolutely. So she's right there. You can see her walking out with a child. At the moment as we speak, Pauline, is the CBI grilling, questioning Abhishek Banerjee's wife, Rujira? What's going on inside the house? What are you picking up?
Well, she has, of course, I beg your pardon, the CBI team has, of course, entered the residence. So we're still waiting for a confirmation as to whether the questioning has, in fact, begun or not. But clearly, there will be a certain few protocols to follow, because he is a member of parliament. At the end of the day, there could be certain COVID protocols to follow before, of course, Rujira appears. We have been told by our sources that Rujira will be appearing alone before the agency, and that again will send out a very strong message that if you thought touching the family, if you thought start intimidating the family. A non-political person, a private person, is going to intimidate those who are in the thick of the politics of West Bengal as far as the Trinamool is concerned, which is Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee, then you are mistaken. Rujira Banerjee will be appearing alone is what we've been told. We'll of course wait to find out how it played out inside the residence much later after the CBI steps out of that residence. But at 11:40 a.m. today, a CBI team has in fact entered Rujira Banerjee's residence in order to question her. They will be treating her as a witness in this case and seeking to question her about certain details and facts about the case which have already emerged as part of the investigation which has been ongoing for a while, which, like I said, picked up pace in November 2020 after the lodging of some FIRs, and only just a couple of days ago, across 13 locations, the CBI conducted raids which were in these districts, in these coal-rich districts of Bankura, Purulia, Bardhaman, and even Kolkata. They've conducted raids, they've questioned a lot of people, including those associated with this illicit trade, smuggling, and they have now reached the doorstep of the Banerjee family.
Absolutely. This is CBI versus the Banerjees, and there is a big allegation of corruption right there. The grilling of Abhishek's wife Rujira about to begin. The CBI has reached Abhishek Banerjee and Rujira's house at the moment. We also do know that we got you those exclusive visuals of how Mamata Banerjee got to that house, ended up picking up her grandchild from that house. We're still to confirm whether it was her grandchild indeed or not, but those are the visuals on your screens that you see right now. Mamata's show of support coming in for the grandchild, for the nephew as well, and the grandchild. The CBI is grilling Abhishek's wife Rujira as we speak. He's a member of parliament, and as Paulami mentioned, there is going to be a hell lot of COVID protocol that will have to be followed before the grilling actually begins. We're getting you these live visuals from West Bengal at the moment, right ahead of the assembly elections. In terms of optics, questions arising on how this is going to impact the Trinamool Congress. Paulami, as far as the BJP is concerned, what is the BJP stance in the middle of all of this? Because the TMC clearly earlier as well has cried foul and called it vendetta.
Well, the BJP is saying that this is what we've been saying for a very, very long time. That the cow smuggling racket, the sand mining, the coal smuggling, all of this has been happening under the watchful eye of the state government, and they have been ignoring the illicitness of the trade which has been happening on the ground. This is something that they've been raising on various occasions over the years at rallies, speeches they've made, press conferences they've held. And they have in fact been saying, we've been saying this, it is the Banerjee family, it is the leadership of the Trinamool, it is Trinamool functionaries on the ground who are extortionists, and at the top, they have the sanction from the top. Now, to of course pin it at the doorstep of the Banerjee family is a very, very significant development that has happened. But the BJP is saying that the CBI is an autonomous body. We don't have any sort of sway or hold over it. This has got nothing to do with the elections or the politics of it. This is a case that the CBI was investigating. The CBI has a sanction from the Calcutta High Court to investigate this matter, which is why they've been questioning a lot of people. They have been questioning those who are associated with the Eastern Coalfield Limited, like I said, the state-owned company, which of course is at the center of this entire investigation. They are being questioned as well, those associated, and it's only links which are leading up to here, and it is something that we've been pointing out to for a very, very long time, and there is evidence, some of them say, the BJP says, of bank transfers which have been made of court protection money to...
Paulami, apologies about that interruption, but we've run out of time on this particular broadcast. This remains to be our